See, this is a good topic to touch on. I like touching on the topics that are popular in terms of like this is a normal struggle. Like, shouldn't we talk about those things? What good does it do if I just tell you like, hey man, nothing exists? You know, like what is that going to do? Let's talk about the stuff that's alive and that seems to be an obstruction in a lot of people's minds and lives that they think prevent them from having an awakening. Like we got to clear that stuff up. I'm going to do group satsangs at some point. I got to get organized. All right, so some people really feel that their life situation is just, there's no way they can awaken. It's just impossible. Like you can't awaken if you have these particular cards that have been dealt to you. It's just, you can't, you know? So don't tell me I can't. This is what they think. Now, how can I relate to that? I like to give my own personal experience with that so that then it has some actual power. If I just say, yeah, you can, what's that going to do, right? So there's one main thing. I had really heavy health karma growing up. I mean, it's still there, but there's some transcendence of that now. So it doesn't spiral me down into the depths of hell like I used to get myself into. So I used to feel like there's no way, like there's a pain and a discomfort in this body all the time back then. Like what do you mean like awake? You know, I'd go to a meditation teacher or something and they're like, you know, you just focus on, just know that you're not the pain. I'm like, man, you got no idea what chronic pain is. You just don't know, clearly. Like you're speaking from your mind. I wanted somebody that could like be tuned with me and then spontaneously, intuitively say something. Don't just repeat stuff that you heard that you think's a good idea. It's meaningless. A lot of teachers do that. There's some heavy karma out there, you know, and you can't just get rid of it with some spiritual concepts. So what happened though? So that fueled my whole journey of searching the planet looking for like healing answers, because I wanted to like fix this. I thought I had to really fix this in order to awaken to my true nature. I knew my true nature wasn't suffering. This was the conundrum. Like I knew it wasn't suffering. So I'm like, well then why do I feel like I'm suffering? I know I can feel this presence, this consciousness. It doesn't have a form. It's not suffering, but yet the suffering is so loud, it eclipses the realization of this consciousness. Like what am I going to do? I got to fix the body and mind first, and then I'll feel this. Okay. See, this is a complex thing to talk about. Now, at the same time, I couldn't find any answers, any healing solutions. I exhausted everything in America, so I started going elsewhere. And I still couldn't find anything. Because there's a lot of things out there that are just so-called incurable. Actually, most things are. All the medical people can do usually is stimulate or suppress a certain bodily function that's imbalanced so that then the symptoms go down. It's not a cure, and then they have side effects. And I figured all that out when I was a kid, because that's what I did when I was since 7 years old. Like I was too young to understand like this doesn't work. I was like, why do the parents and doctors tell me to do this? It doesn't work. It makes it worse. So then I got to be 12 and I said, man, I'm done with all this. Let me just smoke weed. Oh, this is better. But then I hit bottom with that and had to stop that. And anyway, so I wanted to search out some natural healing, holistic modalities to help balance this body-mind. Now, that's cool. I'm not dismissing that. But there needs to be a blend here. And here's the blend. Admit and surrender to the cards you've been dealt. We're talking about physical health, but there's other situations that are also can make you feel like you can't awaken. But I think the essence of what I'm saying you can apply to whatever situation you're in. Surrender to the situation that it just seems you can't fix, and it's causing you pain and suffering. There's some karmic reason for it. It's for your own higher good, but you may not know it right now. Later you'll find out. Have some faith. There's no accidents. There's no accidents. Everything's mathematically like warranted. So surrender. I had to surrender that, like, I can't fix this stuff. I'm out of moves. I tried for years. I can't fix it. When I surrender to that, it activates this deeper inner non-dual power, so that then it can show me how to deal with this on an intuitive, personal level. This is the thing. This is what I'm saying. When you're in extenuating circumstances, whatever it is, you have to, one part, you need to surrender, okay? But there's another part. You don't just surrender and say, okay, just kill me. But when you surrender, then your intuitive faculties, higher knowledge activates. It's much higher than mind power. That activates and starts guiding you, like, number one, how to accept this situation, and number two, you can get intuitive thoughts, feelings, and ideas on where to go, who to talk to, what to see, what to do that can help give your body a semblance of balance. Because there's millions and millions of things out here that can potentially help. But it's like, which one do? You don't have enough time in your life to figure all these out, because new things are coming out every moment anyway. We need to activate, and the mind can't understand that. You can't use a logical, deductive process to try to figure this stuff out. You'll miss. Intuition needs to activate. Intuition can't activate until we surrender our situation. Because if we don't surrender it, then we're still managing it with our mind. What's the problem with that? It's just too limited. It can't figure these things out. So that's one situation. The other situation, I mean, there's a bunch, but what situation? Situation meaning, like, I feel like there's no way I can wake up to my true nature if I'm in this situation. The other situation was when I was just working these jobs that weren't right for me, that they didn't match. A lot of people, I hear this too when I'm doing consults. They're like, come on, man, like, this doesn't match. I'm like, okay, are you having divine inspiration to leave and go do something? Like, is the consciousness moving you? No, that's the problem. I say, okay, no, it's not a problem though. You need to surrender to your situation. You fighting it is actually blocking the ability for consciousness to create a new situation for you and to learn the lessons of whatever you need to learn in this present situation, so that you can leave it and go to the next thing, go to the next level. So yeah, but what can I possibly be learning here? This just sucks all the way around. Trust that there's a reason you need to be there. You're there. You're there. Trust there's a reason to be there. See, that's different than if you're in a situation and consciousness is telling you to leave. It's telling you, like, leave, man. I got you. Even if you don't know how it's going to work out, something's telling you to leave. That can be applied to people in certain, if they're living with their family or in certain relationships that are super toxic, and consciousness is telling you, terminate that, leave. But your own attachment and ideas about that make you not leave. And then you might justify and say, oh, but maybe there's some lessons here I need to learn. And see, that's different. You see how the mind can play both sides? You got to discern and know what's what. So that's the main message I wanted to deliver. I think I covered a lot there. You can digest that and see how that applies to your specific particular situation. Because I'm telling you, that was my experience of how that works. The more I surrender to it, the more open I am to intuition guiding me how to get out of it, and also how to assimilate the lessons that are there, that are being prescribed for me from that situation. At the same time, be aware if you're staying in the situation because of dullness or you're Tomzik, I just don't feel like leaving. See? You'll suffer if you do. You got to listen to the spirit, trust its guidance, jump off the cliff, and it's going to catch you, But if it's not time to jump off the cliff, don't jump off the cliff. Then you might really need to be there for a reason. See, it's individual. You got to know. You got to know what's happening. So leave me any questions you have, and we're just going to keep doing this. Let me know if there's any pressing problems or obstructions that you have in your life something like this topic, so that then we can discuss it and try to bring some clarity in there. There's always clarity. Doesn't matter which situation you're in. There's a way to perceive it from a higher vantage point. That's my message.